Hey, what's up? Zach here, and these are my 5 favorite basketball shoes and indoor pickleball shoes for wide feet for fall 2025. Let's get into it. And coming in at number 5 is the Adidas Adizero Select 3.0. This one honestly just takes it on pure width. This thing comes in like 10 centimeters metatarsal width for a men's size 11. Plus, it's pretty much all mesh in the uppers, so they accommodate really well. Also, Adidas bestowed a little bit more soft, pillowy light strike in these ones, so everything about these just kind of accommodates really well. Plus, it's got a really wide shank that's made of polypropylene, a little more plastic. So the shoe, even though it's wide, stays pretty stable. Sometimes you get a big floppy shoe, it can be a big floppy shoe. And so this one surprisingly stays decently stable. Yeah, for narrow-footed people, not so great, but as a pickleball or a basketball shoe, these ones pretty darn good. Now coming in at number 4 is the Reebok Engine A. Honestly, the Engine A to me is just a really nice re-entry into the space for Reebok. The one thing about the Engine A that I thought was pretty good was the containment when I had mine on. But when I look at pictures of some people wearing them, I mean, there's a lot of deformation in these shoes. I know Dejanay Carrington, I mean, she's not a heavy person and she was just pushing straight through them. So I think that obviously people have not had failure in these things, and sometimes, pictures can, over exaggerate what's really going on. And all basketball shoes, they're meant to deform. If they stayed stiff, you'd sprain your ankle all the time. So I do think when the next iteration of the Engine A comes out, it'd be nice maybe a little bit more reinforced on that lateral side so you're not seeing all that buckling. But honestly, in terms of fit for a wide-footed person, same kind of thing as the Adizero Select 3.0. The midsole foam as well as the upper just accommodates so well. They're so comfortable. So no matter if you have kind of that plantar lateral pain in your wide, or if you just have kind of just a wide foot pressing against the shoe, you really can't go wrong with it. And coming in at number 3 is the Equals 24/7. Now I like these ones because they've got the containment rails on them, but the uppers are also dorsally made of elastic and then some like that faux leather going around the side of it. And so what's nice about that is you get the accommodation from the elastic, but also the containment from the plastic. So the shoe expands in the right places for a wide foot, but it also contains good for a wide foot. So kind of it's same thing. It's wide and accommodating, but it's not floppy. Plus, just the overall taper of the shoe into the toe box is not too crazy. So if you're worried about digital width, obviously those are gonna be pretty good. If you're looking for something for digital width, you're looking for something for more barefoot, obviously the Zero X1 is gonna be your pick, or the Uncivilized sneaker, Uncivilized 2.0. Those are kind of on a different level in terms of width, because remember, they're more barefoot shoes, zero drop, not like a real traditional basketball drop. So if you're looking for those are gonna be the 2 widest on the market, even for a 2E or a 4E. A lot of times people can just go true to size, not even have to go up anything, because those shoes, because they run more quote unquote anatomic, they have so much more room up in the toe box, so you don't need to go up those widths. So if you're looking for the more anatomic shoes, those are the 2 I'd recommend. But if you're looking for kind of in the middle there, where you've got the containment of a basketball shoe, a little bit more the trappings of a basketball shoe, but a little bit less of that taper in the forefoot, in the digital taper, then the EQLZ or the Equals 24/7, great pickup. And coming in at number 2, no surprise, is the New Balance Fresh Foam BBV3. Now, sometimes New Balance will release models with their 2E and 4E widths, and that's great because you can get whatever you want. Sometimes you'll see runs of shoes or colorways that don't have it, so if you can find them in the 2E and 4E, obviously that is a no-brainer. Really, these come pretty just forgiving as it is in the D width, but obviously I'd rather, if you're a 2E, I'd rather just go to the 2E. That way you don't have to guess. But like I said, the Fresh Foam BBV2 as well in the 2E, out of this world if you can still find them. That's great. I know some places still have those. Some of the New Balance's own sites, kind of the secondhand New Balance sites that New Balance still owns, will still let you get the BBV2, but the V3, as long as you can get in 2E or 4E, you're gonna do great. And if you're a female, you can always go to the male D width to get kind of that, that kind of double wide without going up in size. And coming in at number 1, this is probably obvious to a lot of you by now, but that is the New Balance 2-way V5. Obviously in the 2E or the 4E, number 1 for the price, these are already starting to get discounted pretty heavily. I remember when these came out and I said, these are gonna go down into the 70s, sometimes probably in the 40s range at some point, and everyone said, no, that was just the V4. And all of a sudden, I saw them in a couple of stores into the $60 range, so you can get them in 2E and 4E. I do like the 2-way V5 a little bit more than the BBV3. I like the BBV2 more than any of them. So, but as in terms of the shoes that are available right now, and that will be available for a while, the V5 is my favorite out of this whole bunch. Number 1, because these are definitely the most containing out of all of them, the speediest, they have to me, the best foam setup of all of them. Unlike the Fresh Foam BBV3, these are just a little bit more nimble of a shoe. You can play pickleball or basketball, and this is more of a positionless shoe versus the BBV3 where it's not the most nimble shoe out there. So really any of these shoes are gonna do well for you in this category, especially if you're looking for a wide-footed shoe. They're all gonna do fine, especially the New Balances if you go to the 2E and 4E. I wish more companies would go to these, especially here in the United States. We do have a lot of wide-footed people, and in my office, I get so many people asking me every week, why can't I find more wide-footed shoes? It definitely is an epidemic going on out there of a lack of options for wide feet. I usually just end up sending people to New Balance because it's just so easy to get the 2E and 4E. Obviously, there are other models from New Balance that you can get in a 2E or 4E. These are the two, obviously, I think that are the best. I know the Hezi Low will sometimes come out in the 2E and 4E. I know Cooper Flag is, kind of, I've seen him in those a little bit too, but I just think the Engine A, the EQLZ, and the Adidas, maybe just a little bit more of a complete shoe versus the Hezi Low, which they're fine. They're good shoes. They're super speedy. They kind of remind me of the 796 in the tennis space. But there's just not a lot between you and the ground there. So I'd like to see kind of what he goes to during the season. If he stays in the Hezi Low, or if he goes to more of the 2-way, or if he's in the BBs by the time he's actually playing a full season, actually like getting the reps of a full season. So love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Which shoes have you been going to as a wide-footed person? I'd say which shoes that aren't on this list have you been going to as a wide-footed person that have done well for you? Leave them in the comments down below so other people can kind of see here. Obviously, these are just my 5 favorite, but there are others out there. And if you've had some experience with them, let me know. Or if there's other companies that you have seen in your neck of the woods, in your part of the world, that are coming in with non-standard sizes like the up. Remember, because Nike and Jordan brand, you can get the EP or the PF version. The problem with that is I usually, in my old videos, would say, just get the EP or PF version from Jordan brand or Nike. But now I'm seeing that some of the EPs and PFs aren't coming wide. Some of them are, some of them aren't. And so it's hard to say. I wish I knew, right? I wish I knew like exactly, okay, this one is definitely gonna come always in this one's basically like a 2E, this one's not. So I would say you can kind of go back through my videos and see which ones are wide, which ones aren't, but it is not it's not a blanket statement anymore that the EP or the PF version of Jordan brand and Nike are gonna be wide. Some of them are, some of them aren't. So let me know in the comments down below which ones you like, and if you do wanna see best shoes for heel pain, I'll leave that video linked right here. You wanna see one of my latest reviews, I'll leave that linked right here. Make sure you subscribe down below. I'll see you in the next video.